Hi, Sean from Fitz. Welcome to our sixth air tutorial from Command. Right, welcome to the modern air intercept tutorial. This is the sixth in a series of tutorials designed to teach players the fundamentals of air operations in Command. In this tutorial, the following topics will be covered: shooting down aircraft armed with short-range rear aspect missiles, shooting down aircraft armed with medium and long-range missiles. Alright, so let's load him up. Some tea. Okay, this says the same stuff. Okay, we can begin it. Okay, today we'll impersonate the commander of the Ramat Air Base, David Air Base in northern Israel, and you will learn how to engage aircraft armed with modern weapons. You have 2 F-15 Buzz and 4 F-15 Ram, 6 F-16L Safa, 2 Gulfstreams G550s, AAW Nashorn, and 2 Sackney tankers and 2 Hermes drones. You can read it there yourself. They're the drones. Star, UAV. Okay. Our fighters are armed with... Now, I'm not going to read all these conventions like ALM, I'm just going to briefly... You can see it on the screen. So, 2 15A Eagles. They got 4 Sparrows, 2 Sidewinders, and 2 Python Shrees. We've got 2 15 Eagles, 15 Eagles armed with 4 120C AIM and 4 Python 4s. 2 F-15 Eagles from ROM armed with 6 120s and 2 Python 4s. 2 F-16 Falcon Safa, 2 AIMs 120s, those are long range, and 2 Python 5s and 3 F-16 Safa, 4 Python 5s. Sure. I tell you, reading these technical things here, like the AMI7 Dish 4, that's it's off the... I'm just going to read you can read it on the screen what they are. Okay, missile types. The Sparrows is a semi-active radar homing, and it's 2 to 38 nautical miles. That's the range. The Sidewinders, all aspect, mid-course, have a passive infrared terminal guidance. They're 2 to 10, so it's not so far, nautical miles. The 120s are the longest. This is all aspect with a radar homing terminal guidance. It's 2 to 56 nautical miles. That's our longest weapons. The Python 3s is all aspects. It's 2 to 8. The Python 4 all aspect ball sight is 2 to 10, and the Python 5 got the longest range, 2 to 15 nautical miles. The fighters also have DECM systems and PODs, defensive ECM systems, devices designed to improve survivability of the aircraft by deceiving radar or IR sensors and enemy missiles. They operate alongside chaff to deceive radars and flares to deceive IR sensors. Okay, the system types are these PODs. EL80, you can read it there. EL8240, you can read it, and the SBS. Yes, they got naming. The whole encyclopedia for shortcuts and naming and weapon missiles is like off the charts. I mean, I suppose they have to use all these conventions to aim the stuff and measure the stuff and name them, but yes, man, it can be confusing, eh? I'm not really fond of the naming system, but there's nothing you can do about it. It's hard to read, but they have to differentiate each type of missile with what they carry, like radar systems, you understand. Okay, so... Oh, it's nighttime. Hey, nighties, nighttime. Nighttime. It's the nighties. Okay, so where are we now? We got this on. Let's get the speed up to find out what we're going to do. Okay, yeah, man. We have good intelligence that a few Syrian aircraft will be escorting a Tu-22 Backfire C on a recon mission over our territory. The intruders must be destroyed. Alright, we expect the Syrians to use the following fighters, and I'm just going to briefly go through it. MiG-23 Floggers, And they carry these AA7 Apex missiles, which have a range of 24 nautical miles, which is not bad. AA Aphid, they carry, they fire. They're a short range. The MiG-25 Foxbat, that's accurate. They are 30 nautical miles. That's quite far. They're semi-active radar homing. The accurate 6, which is 30 also nautical miles, quite decent in range. The MiG-29 Fulcrum, these fighters, from my childhood, I used to read about these. They have the Archer, all aspect, that's 10 nautical miles. And the Alamo, which is 45 nautical miles, that's far, right? And the Adder plus homing, that's 45. So that's quite far, eh? Those nautical miles, those missiles can shoot quite far. These medium to long missiles are a serious threat, particularly the AA-12 Adder, which can be used in a fire and forget mode. We have longer range missiles, so if we have good situational awareness, we should be able to destroy the intruders easily. We have some longer. Some. We really don't. We only have that AM120, whatever. That thing's a 54. The rest of the stuff is shorter than this. We have shorter. By switching on radar, or better, launch the Narsons and then get some fighters off the ground, which I'll do now. When facing floggers and foxbacks, you can turn off automatic evasion. Okay. Against the enemy, even if they fire back, they will break their contact trying to evade your missiles, and they're losing them. See, because we have this with some of these missiles too. If you shoot, you got to keep your eye on it, and if you're trying to evade, you are losing track of the missile that's going to shoot. So it can turn them off a bit. I think we have some of those. Be careful, as without automatic evasion, you are an easier target for fire and forget missiles. Both the AM-20, that's the 120, and the Sparrow have longer range than the Russians-made missiles on the Syrian fighters. Not really. That Sparrow doesn't have a longer range than some of these guys, 45 and 30. The Sparrow is quite short. All right. The AM-20 has a hit probability of 95%, while the AMF Sparrow has not so good hit probability. This value can decrease at long range. An AM-20 can drop below 65% and can even further be reduced by enemy fighters' altitude, agility, direction, etc. To increase the probability of destroying the enemy aircraft, you can reduce the firing distance in the weapons panel. So they decreases from range. So the further away you are, the lower the hit probability. So you can get closer. So that's a bit of a downer. I thought you could just shoot from, I think that one is 50 kilometers. You can shoot from 50 kilometers and get the weapons, but they reduce. So you've got to get closer. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to launch those Narsons, and we're going to launch all our fighters. Okay, so let's just close that. Night time. Okay. All right, so let's just set up our Narsons. Okay. Control. I'm gonna add a reference point there, and I'm gonna fly one right up to there. Okay, let's put that in, and let's put our Narsons on there, and also our the drones, because they're ECM, they counter. Okay, let's get the mission editor. So not with the mission editor. Let's add a new mission. Okay, so support. I'm going to do a support 1 and a support 2. So that's the support. See, because the last time I put them all under the one support, and the problem is they got a bit mixed up, and it wasn't. So we're going to use these O's under the first support. It's got those two nostrils. This is our radar, right? We're going to mission settings. Let's just validate the area. Okay, it's validated. Let's take that off and fly one at a time. Okay, all right. So that's done. Then we're going to create another mission. Also support. We call it support 2. Okay, we're also going to make a support and click in, and then we're going to add our Hermes, these two, and these guys are going to fly that same mission, validate that same area, not take out the enforce, and they're going to fly for that. So that's our 2 missions done. Okay, the one is ECM jammer with the drones, and the other one is the radar. Now, I'm thinking, let that run, get those O's off the ground. Just get those O's off the ground, I'm saying. Let them start. Now I can switch their radars on and everything. Okay, so we want the NOS on, and we want him to switch his radar on, sensors, and radar. Okay, so that's him done. The Hermes, we want them to jam the ECMs. Okay, that's done. Okay. Okay, we've just detected some aircraft. You may have noticed that they are flying in pairs. This is a standalone formation for fighters, first developed in the 1930s with patrols composed of leader and a wingman. The wingman's role is to add an element of support to aerial combat, increasing both defensive and offensive capabilities and situational awareness. One common tactic for this formation is to use one fighter to draw the attention of an enemy and then hit it from behind with the second fighter. Try to engage them in at least at a 2-2 basis. Destroy all enemy fighters. Okay, so let's get our guys off the ground. Ramat. F6. Okay, so we're gonna launch these two. Launch as a group. We're gonna... I wonder if we must... He's going to be 2 hours, so he's never going to be ready. I think we're going to launch those two. Launch as a group. Launch individually, so we got one plane that's fighting with that. Yeah, so these A20s. Let's highlight them, launch them as a group. And then these Pythons. Now there's one more thing. I just wanted to just double check, because he said these sparrows have got a, which is here it is, yeah, the sparrows, right? They've got a 38. Okay, so they've got quite a far. But those Russians have got 45. These are only those two missiles that had 45 nautical miles on the Russians are longer than this. So these are longer than, I thought they were shorter. I really did. Okay, so let that launch. And then we'll direct these O's. Narsons are doing their business. Nighttime. It's 90s, bedtime. I hate this. Let's just go on with the speed. I just need the speed. See, every time it reduces the speed of the... Okay, so let's just... No, those are Ramas and the Hermes. Okay. Okay, we've got to take this flight. And we've got to auto-target that guy. we've got to take this flight and we've got to auto target. We must get close. That guy. Then we need the backhoe done, eh? Okay, then we need this flight and we need to auto target that. Okay, fly that off.
Tactical. Buster 2-1. Negative radar contact.
And we need that flight to auto target that. Okay, just get these O's down first. Just make.
Buster 2-1. Negative radar contact. Procedural control only. Maintain.
Okay, it's got that. So we're gonna auto target this oak in front. Yeah. Okay, go. Come on, aeroplanes, go. Now he's flying. I'm just loading up the ordnance on these two to get these two, because then we're going to knock out the other two behind them. So we hit a quantity thing here. We overload the airspace with missiles on these two, and then we can concentrate on those two. Hey, is airspace happening with all this happening around you, eh? Okay, I'll let that slow down. Let's just see what we get with that. Auto target. Let's just get him to the back.
Go ahead.
Let's just see that these missiles connect before we knock out those other two. Boom. Let's get the other one. The other one needs to go too. Boom. Okay. Now. Start with him. Auto target. Boom. Right. So this is, I must see what this is. This is the F-16 auto target. Boom. Auto target. Boom. Just trying to see, and this guy needs to also auto target. Boom. Okay, let me keep it up. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I'm just directing my plane. Nighttime.
Yeah, go ahead.
So that's done. All right. So there's more planes here. There's more coming here. I can see it. Okay, let's just keep him roll. Keep these guys rolling. Where are you going? That's a jet, eh? I forgot about you. Hey, let me tell you, it can get quite hectic if you got a lot of jets here. Okay, so there we got the red. There should be somebody with him. I'm going to hit the auto engage with him. That's the F-16. I'm taking F-15 as well and hit him on auto engage. Let's just see what these hosts do. And let's fly. No, leave them, yeah? In fact, you know what? Overload. Like Stalin used to say, there's a certain quality in quantity. And he was right about that. Hey. Now let's take all these guys. I know I'm just shooting these things down, but let's just because we got to kill the mission says kill all aircraft. Oh shit! You know that's very true. This one, I'm gonna auto engage there, and this one I'm also going to auto target there. And these two are flying here. So it's got the F-15 and the F-16. And there's F-16 and two F-16. I think those have got the, yeah, those are the AM-20s. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Okay, I'm going to change you to auto-target M. And you are going to still plot your course up. It's a single. Fly him up there. Let's just see the resulting, what happens here. If they take them, then I'm going to switch. Okay, he's binding, but that's not. He's evading.
Go ahead
Okay, that one we got. Now we need to switch. Him and him to get him out of the picture. Where we with this guy, he must still auto target this guy. He must get him, and this O too. We might. This is okay. This is our reserve O. He's just coming up as a reserve, as a backup reserve. They're doing a dogfight.
Go ahead
Come on. Let's auto-target him.
Go ahead
Okay, great. Now the auto-target system works well here because the pilots are now the skill of the pilots is now being used. Yeah. Now we concentrating on this because we've done those two O's now. Okay, come back down here. Ah, brilliant. If you got enough missiles in the air, you're bound to hit something. Well done, successfully destroyed all the enemy aircraft. When you think you're ready to move on to the next field, you must move on. Okay, so we did all the objectives. We got, yeah. Okay, so we got that. Let's just close. Close. Okay, so this was an interesting fight, but not much of a challenge because they didn't fire back. They just flew. I didn't get any them firing back. But I suppose with the different wings, you know, like you can get your wings up there. Your this is important, bringing radar and all that type of stuff, and then shooting these planes down. But yeah, you know, you think about it logically. It's just flooding the air with missiles, and one's bound to hit. So, you know, you just gotta you just you aim for the one, knock him out, then aim for the next one, knock him out, and just flood the air full of missiles. Yeah. The conventions of this, the naming conventions for the, hey, I tell you, this is still one of the things that's holding me back is this naming convention. I think we can, no, these planes are out, but this, just see, hang on. Yeah, you know, like there's a F-16 sitting out there, but you know these naming conventions like AAM120C VWXYZ 28RB Sparrow Missile 3. I mean, geez, to be able to just read those things out boggles your mind. I mean, and it's, you know, the thing is they're trying to, with each weapon, and I said this before in the episode, with each weapon they're trying to describe it so you know what it's about. They're trying to also differentiate it from all the hundreds of other air-to-air missiles that are there, because there's a whole plethora: Sparrows, AM-20s, Patriots, Pythons, all these other ones, and then there's a whole variation within those. The Pythons have got a whole lot of different rear aspect, right? You know, you wish sometimes they would just like give us one weapon to shoot. It does everything that thing is trying to do, that all has hundreds of weapons. But the thing is, today with all our development, we've been developing weapons for different capabilities, and all short range and long range, and you got to differentiate them somehow. But the naming conventions, all right, let's just see what what the next tutorial is going to be. Okay, so we got modern. Okay, so this is modern air intercept, modern Russian and Chinese weapons. Maybe that's a bit more challenging for us. All right, I think I covered most of it in this tutorial. Sean from Fitz, see you at the next tutorial. Good day on you.